Hi, and welcome to the We Can Do It Women channel. I'm Deborah Morrison, and I'm thrilled you're here for this journey of financial empowerment specifically designed for mature women. For over 47 years, yes, it was child labor, I've worked as a certified financial planner, asset manager, and now financial and leadership coach, helping women navigate their finances with confidence. And what I've learned is that traditional financial advice often fails women in their golden years. We kind of need our own playbook. And today I'm going to share why the financial rules might be different for us, share some of the unique challenges we face, unlike our male counterparts, and more importantly, how you can take control of your financial future, regardless of from whence you are starting. Because here's what I believe with my whole heart at 60, 70, and beyond, we're not slowing down. We're just getting started. And the traditional advice often fails women our age, if you will. I'm 60 and wiser, in that our earning and saving patterns haven't been that of our male counterparts by and large. No, they haven't. Many of us have taken time away from our careers to raise kids or care for parents. Some of them still are. The result, the average woman has actually saved 44%, 44% less than men for their retirement. But here's what makes me really agitated. This isn't our fault. We weren't socialized very well around money. As a matter of fact, let me just call it poor socialization around money. How many of you were told, don't worry your little pretty head about that, Betty, Bob will handle it? Well, as I say, that would be okay if Bob didn't die prematurely or come home and trade you in for 230s one day. And so discussing money wasn't ladylike in many of our upbringings. And so our male counterparts were taught differently, that money buys freedom and power and choices. And they were kind of jocular about their conversation about money and tips and everything. They were encouraged to take risks, invest aggressively, and build wealth. And somehow this absence of training caused some of us women to be very perfectionistic, like, well, we better get it exactly right. We can't make any missteps. When in point of fact, missteps are exactly what every one of us is going to make. Warren Buffett admits to billion-dollar missteps with everything at his disposal. So this horrible socialization has real palpable consequences, and yet nothing we can't overcome. So I've seen women bright, capable, and completely adept in their fields not understand, or worse, doubt their financial abilities or feel paralyzed when they suddenly have to manage money on their own. And I'm here to be the translator, if you will, of finances, if you will, to English. And so I want us to be empowered around this possibility because we're hardwired for we're hardwired for common sense, right? I just think women are, right? And so we might not have the financial resources of our male counterparts on which some of these retirement investment recipes, if you will, are based, because some of them have pensions and 401ks and so forth. And the wage disparity has caused many of our balances in these company retirement plans to be far less than our male counterparts. And so our asset allocation requirements are different. And asset allocation is basically a fancy word for how much in stocks and how much in bonds and so forth and so on. So this is an aspect that I want to pay attention to and draw to our attention so that we can plan for it. Yes. So we might need to invest for a little bit more growth. Yeah. And yet hearing exclusively about the one R word, risk, as the only R word associated with stocks for decades may not serve us so well because we weren't taught about the other R word, return, which is also associated with stocks. And risk is the currency for the return. So I'm here to educate us about the confluence of those two R words. And so this is going to fall on some of us as new information, and we might need a little bit of time to assimilate that and incorporate that in up-leveling our confidence around investing and forgiving ourselves for any past missteps. That's really critical. And I'm going to buttress our belief that we can do it. We can do it, women. We can do this thing called money. And then the other reality of our longevity over that of our male counterparts. Again, by and large, statistics say women are going to live an average 5 to 7 years longer than men. And yet most retirement planning is really based on these shorter time frames, and the actuarial timetables and so forth really play a part in that algorithm. And so the math kind of falls apart for some of us. And then our financial needs are actually kind of different, right? We, in fact, are probably, as I say, serving as caregivers for someone outside of our family, and we might end up being caregivers for our partners. And this is going to negatively affect our health and possibly our wealth, because sometimes those uninsured medical bills and stuff erode our wealth. And so we might be those that are requiring that long-term care from an outside facility, i.e. a paid facility, whereas maybe we provided that for our partner. It's just the statistics. It's changing, I grant you. And we might face higher healthcare costs because of all of the wear and tear, if you will, if we have been called into caregiving. And so we might need to plan for a longer retirement. So if traditional advice doesn't work, what will? Well, the We Can Do It Women approach. Yes, we can do this. And it's based upon a few principles. First, reclaiming our financial power. It's time to unlearn, pop open our head, pull out that negative money message nonsense, and embrace our capability. And I've worked with hundreds of women who went from financial anxiety and downright paralysis after a misstep to confident wealth building. If they can do it, so can you. We want to create a plan that reflects our life. I want to create a plan that reflects your life. And I'm going to give you strategies along the way on which you can latch on to and say, oh, that fits for me. Oh, not so much. Oh, that works for me, right? Because your financial strategy should reflect your values, right? They should be really dovetailed, and your timeline and your goals, not some generic model that was designed for like a 65-year-old male retiring in the 80s, probably with a defined pension plan. And then we want to build a supportive community, because we are stronger together, women. In this financial empowerment journey that we've gotten kind of started on a little late for some of us, shouldn't be a solo journey. No, we need each other's support, wisdom, and encouragement. And I'm here to be the cheerleader, the chief cheerleader, if you will, in the We Can Do It Women movement. So here's a brief client story. Obviously, the name changed. One of my clients, whom we'll call Sarah, at 67, suddenly became a widow. Boom. 41 years marriage. She had never paid a bill or made an investment decision. Managed the grocery budget, different, very different. And when we first met, she was terrified and paralyzed. And she was trying to ward off these insurance agents trying to sell her big fat annuities. And I'm glad that she did. She was attempting to process her grief all the while learning about money. And over the next year, she not only mastered her finances, but discovered an innate talent for investing she didn't even know she had. She was so hardwired for common sense. And when I put this together for her, boy, she took to it like a fish to water. And today, at age 73, she manages a 7-figure portfolio and mentors other widows. Yes, she does. And that and similar transformation is possible for every woman watching this video. So what can you expect from our channel? In fact, every Monday, I'm going to share a video just like this one, diving deep into topics that matter to women over 60, how to navigate the uncertain and turbulent investment waters to build our wealth, Social Security options, and ensuring you receive all the benefits owed you. Talking about investment types and approaches that actually match your goals and timelines. Talking about how to balance funding, travel, and adventures while also building future wealth. We're going to discuss smart money saving tax strategies, because a dollar saved and not paid and that hasn't been paid in tax is a dollar that is compounded onto your net worth. Yes, it is. And I want us to remember the importance of money saving tax strategies and so much more. So throughout the week, I'm going to post quick tips, inspiration, timely updates on financial news that particularly affects women. And my promise to you is everything I share will be that which is practical, actionable, and delivered without jargon or condescension, because you're brilliant, capable, and you deserve to be spoken to as an equal. And so I believe financial freedom isn't just about the numbers on your portfolio or on your spreadsheet. It's about having the power to make strategic choices about your rich life, where you live, how you spend your time, when and how you help others, the legacy you live and leave behind. That freedom, that power, that's what I want for every woman watching. So if you're ready to rewrite your financial story, I invite you to subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, join our Facebook community. I'll put the link in the description below. Share this video with a woman in your life who could also use this message. And next Monday, we'll dive into navigating uncertainty in the markets to build wealth. And until then, remember, at 60, 70 and beyond, we're not slowing down. We're just getting started. Let's do this together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.